Legislator Delia DeRiggi Witten.
Here.
Ranking Member Kavan Abrahams.
Here.
Legislator Laura Schaefer.
Here.
Legislator Rose Walker.
Here.
Chairman Richard Nicolello.
Here.
We have a quorum, sir.
Okay, thank you. Legislator Rhodes is here as well. We're going to do things a little bit differently today. We have a point of personal privilege, which we will do first. Then we're going to do the appointments after that. Then after that, we'll do the we have an item with respect to the renaming CASA, and then we'll go to rules, to contracts. I would ask our minority leader to please do his point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. And as the Presiding Officer says, we normally do not do points of personal privilege at the time of committee. However, as some of you may remember, last round we had bowling girls here to celebrate their county championship. Obviously, with this school time and with the young people getting ready to take finals, it's very difficult to try to get them in. But I did want to recognize our Uniondale boys county champions at Uniondale High School, led by Coach Diana. Coach, come on up to the podium and bring the young men as well. This championship, you probably may remember last year, the Uniondale boys won the county championship as well. But this championship was done with some returning players, but then also a new group of players. And the Uniondale boys basketball team has made us proud multiple times with multiple county championships. And Coach Diana has been there for a long stretch of time. But I just wanted to recognize them, which we do have citations here today. I would be remiss if I didn't share this opportunity with Legislator Bino, who's also a legislator for parts of Uniondale as well. But Coach, you've done a tremendous job. I had the opportunity to be at a couple games. I was at the Freeport High School game. I know that was a tough game to lose, but nonetheless, I think it built up the young men even stronger. But I did see on another occasion, I saw you win in the semifinals versus Farmingdale, and then that was an epic game against Port Washington. No disrespect. Legislator Richie Whitney represents the Port Washington area, but that was a tremendous game, and you have a very tight-knit group, and it just shows that you guys do a great job with not just building these men in terms of their basketball character, but also building them for young men. And the stories I hear about some of them as they go out into the community and to the workforce, they've been tremendous successes as well. But please, I'll give you the opportunity to speak, and then obviously any of the young men as well.
Do I press the red button? First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for all of your support. It means the world to us, our program, and our student athletes. Ron, it means a lot coming from you, knowing about your ties to the Uniondale community, so thank you very much. And I couldn't be more proud of the team. I think, going into a season that you always have ratings and polls and public opinion of who the best team should be, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the team that plays the best together and works the hardest and gives more of themselves than they take and is unselfish. And to a person, this team just personified that type of attitude, and it was a pleasure coaching them and very happy for their success, and we look forward to working to future successes also. I'd also like to thank our coaching staff. Coach Rich Towers here does a tremendous job, Coach Jazz Styles and Coach Steph Millord, and also we have one of our board members here, a former player, alumni, college player, and he's now working with you, which is great, and that's Mr. Justin Brown. So we'd like to thank everybody for the support. Really means the world to us, and I think it's important to recognize the success of young people, because so many times you read in the paper it's about all the negativity that goes on, but there's a lot of positive things that happen in our community, and these young men are a big part of that. So thank you.
Absolutely. Any of the young men, Coach, that want to speak on behalf of the team? Any aspiring politicians or?
How you doing? RJ Myers Center. I'd like to thank y'all for honoring us as part of this, and great season. Thank you for all of this.
Thank you. Thank you. I said before I have some citations, I want to thank the presiding officer for allowing us to do this today. I'm going to present these citations to you in the back vestibule area. I don't know if Legislator Bino wants to join us, she's more than welcome to do it as well. But thank you again, Coach. Thank you again, everybody up here. Thank you, audience.
Some of these appointments are on the addendum, so we're going to need a motion to suspend the rules. Moved by Legislator Walker, seconded by Legislator Richie Whitten. All in favor of suspending the rules signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, rules are suspended. Let's see, we have, let's start off with a couple of appointments, then we'll get to the ones with respect to the Asian Americans Agency. Okay, first two appointments are, this first item on the calendar, which is 493 of 2018. I'm also going to call with that the item 96 of 2019, also on the first page. 493 is a resolution to confirm the county executive's appointment of Jeffrey Nogan to the Deferred Compensation Board. 96 is a resolution appointing Anthony D'Alessio to the Sewer and Stormwater Finance Authority on the recommendation of the Controller, Jack Schneeman. Moved by Legislator Schaefer, seconded by Legislator Richie Whitten. Any discussion on these two? Traditionally, these appointees do not come to the committee, so we will see them on the 20th. Anyway, any public comment? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Those two carry unanimously. Now I'm going to jump to item 121 of 2019. Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. Again. It's going to be item 129 of 2019. That is a resolution confirming the county executive's appointment of Farah Mazawala as the executive director of the Office of Asian American Affairs. That will be moved by Legislator Rhodes, seconded by Legislator Richie Whitten. So that now is before the committee. I know I have a number of slips. Farah, you're welcome to join us if you would like to say a few words at this time, since you have a big cheering section here. Or we can go to the slips.
I just wanted to thank the legislators for giving me this opportunity to serve, and I wanted to thank them for creating this Asian Affairs Department and for the county executive for initiating this. I wanted to thank everybody here who came out to support us, and this shows that this community was like a sleeping giant and it's now been awakened. We have a voice, we have a platform, and we're ready to be part of the fabric of Nassau County. You can hold your head up high with your back straight and be unapologetic for who you are.
George Ciberon.
Good afternoon. My name is George Ciberon. I'm the Executive Director of the Hempstead Hispanic Civic Association. And so a Hispanic person is here to endorse and fully acknowledge Farah and the new committee. I have been working particularly with the census over the last 20 years, and it is really the first time that the Asian community has been included in the discussions about ensuring that all people are counted. If you look around, you will see many of the people from the South Asian community who are working people who want to be part of this. I fully and unequivocally thank you for this appointment of Farah. I believe that this committee is going to do some wonderful things, and it will be definitely an asset to our county. Thank you.
Thank you, George. I have a bunch of other slips, but I'm not sure if the speakers want to speak about Farah's appointment or whether they want to speak about the entire board, which is going to be done several moments from now. So if anyone else would want us to come and speak about Farah individually, please do so. If not, I'll call your names when we do the board. So Dr. Chowdhury. Dr. Isma Chowdhury.
Good afternoon.
Press that red button.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Isma Chaudhry. I'm a resident of Manhasset, and I'm a professor at Hofstra and a physician by profession. I serve on the Board of Trustees. I'm the chair of Board of Trustees, Islamic Center of Long Island, and also on the board of Muslim community of Nassau County. I would really like to thank the entire legislatures and under the leadership of our presiding officer, Legislator Nicolello, for acknowledging the importance of formation of this board and making it happen. I would also like to thank the county executive for initiating this office and formalizing it. This was about time that the Asian communities of Nassau County were given a position of respect and relevance in the county. Congratulations to Farah Mozawala. She has proved herself as a leader and somebody who can bring the communities together and bridge the common values that we all share. I would again like to thank all of you, and thank you, Farah. Good luck and congratulations.
I'll call the rest of the slips when we do the full board. But I wanted to just join with you and say that Farah has been acting as the director of the Asian American Advisory Council for the last almost year and a half. And she is one dynamic individual. She has her heart in the right place. She wants to do tremendous things for the community. And I couldn't think of anyone better to be the first executive director of this board. So, anyone else? Hearing none. Oh.
Good afternoon, Lita Jean Meriday, Baltimore resident. I'm definitely in support of the recommendation for Farah, and I'm always in support of having diverse voices in the forefront. But my concern continues, and I want to make sure that it is registered with regard to the structural inadequacies with the current Office of Minority Affairs. And that concern has got to be resolved at some point in time, because anything that's structurally deficient, anything you put on top of it is not going to be successful, and that would be a disservice to all those, including the Asian American community that has been very active in this county and invisible. You know, but unfortunately, guess what? Those of us, including myself, from the African American community, we're active, we're visible, we work very hard, and we too are continually underserved. So I'm hoping that they don't follow the same path to nowhere that has been the imprint for the other communities, and I'm hoping that we all in the diversity arena can continue to work together, because no one, particularly myself, I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm not here to be divisive. I've always been about inclusion. So I'm hoping that those that are standing here or sitting here in support of this initiative come back in the 2 weeks or come back and attend all of the meetings in preparation for the budget, particularly for 2020, so that all ships are given the support and the structure and the resources that they need for the rising communities of color, because we now represent a strong 40% of Nassau County. So that's a strong voice that needs to be heard and continues to be not heard and not served. So I stand in support, but I'm just putting out the awareness for those who can't seem to get it, because this is 2019 and people of color are still not represented They're still not being serviced, but we are being taxed, and many of us are being taxed more so than others because we don't get the tax breaks, we don't have the family connections, we don't get any of those types of assistance. So again, just because those and the numbers are not here, it's because they're working the 2 and 3 jobs to pay the second highest taxes in the country. So just be mindful that the suffering is going on. And last but not least for me, the ongoing overall total disregard for our veterans, except on those holidays. Again, it's a disgrace and we need to address it. Thank you.
My name is Jack Prophet. For 40 years I've worked caring not about my community alone, but any community, anybody that has a right to be wrong. You came today, seems like you're here to celebrate. How can you celebrate when those who have suffered in ways that you don't even want to talk about, as though today should be a happy day to us? For 5 years, you choose, you haven't chosen a director for the Office of Minority Affairs. But today you have a will, the sense of purpose to recognize one community against another. Can you be happy? Can you say this is a reason to celebrate? When you look around, the ones who've always suffered is still the same. You know me. I never tried to fight you, but I can tell you this is hard to celebrate.
Thank you. With respect to the director of the Minority Affairs, it's not that we haven't acted as a legislature. We would act as soon as a name is proposed to us. So we are, and we've been ready, eager, and able to do this, and we will as soon as a name comes to us from the administration. We'll move on. We'll move on quickly. Number two, the fact that we're creating an Asian Advisory Board does not take away in any way from the Minority Affairs. In fact, I believe both of them will work collaboratively. I believe both will work together, and I think both together will actually accomplish more than what's been accomplished today.
Well, there's an old black preacher said one day, how long? Hopefully not long. And I would like to accept what you said, but when you wait day in and day out for something to be delivered, the only thing you go home with is the same thing you came back with, nothing. It's no happiness there. I wrote the Office of Minority, I created it. I know what it's supposed to do. You went and put a chartered organization that was made and approved by the charter of the people of Nassau County, all. And you could find a way to do something with one group, but you can't do the one that was approved by the entire county. That's wrong. And when you say you're going to come and straighten it out, who should we look to? Should we look at you? Should we come to you? Can we come to you?
Well, obviously, the legislature is very eager to see a director put forward, and we actually there was a hearing last week with the Minority Affairs Committee. So from our end, yes, we will push to get that accomplished. But ultimately, if we don't get a name from the administration, if we don't get a recommendation or an appointment from the county executive, there is nothing we can do. We cannot appoint on our own. So once
that sounds good. But at the same time, we have 3 African American legislators. Why haven't you respected their work?
They also don't have the ability to appoint, period. No. We do not have the power under the law to appoint. So we cannot appoint somebody unless we get somebody.
You have said it twice, maybe 3 times, what you can do. We had a house full of people here a couple of weeks ago, asking and telling. But we still have the same approach. I know, Mr. Nicola, you work hard. I hate to beat up on you like this. But sometimes the only way you can feel good is doing something like that. And at the end of the day, I hope you respect the will of our legislators. When you can't do something by whatever stressful things you go through, we elected them, not you, for us. You understand? And that's not to insult you, but it's being disrespectful to our legislators when they say something, it's not heard.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes, you had something there?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Prophet, one of the reasons that we had the Minority Affairs hearing 2 weeks ago, and one of the reasons that we'll be continuing to have the Minority Affairs hearings, because we are by no means done, is that we want to done, D-O-N-E, is that we want to dig into the issues of why we don't have an appointment from the administration with respect to Minority Affairs. Why it is that the office hasn't been properly staffed. There's only 4 individuals who are working in that office when they're budgeted for 9. We want to find out why it is, what it is that they're doing with respect to NWBE, what we're doing in terms of community outreach. Our role as legislators is not to dictate to the administration what to do, but it's to ask the questions that have to be asked to see if there's a problem, find out why there's a problem, and what needs to be done to fix it. So I want to assure you
You already
that
know there is a problem.
Absolutely.
May I ask you a humble question?
Absolutely.
Could you tell me how long you've been knowing?
How long have we been doing what?
How long have you been knowing that it's broke?
Well, we had our hearing 2 weeks ago.
So 2 weeks ago,
Which is, well, there's been no question that there's been a problem because we're now 16 months into administration and we still don't have a permanent director. It's the only agency in the county of Nassau that does not have a permanent director or permanent commissioner. And we got some explanations from the administration as to why that was at our hearing. But the bottom line is they need to move, and they need to move quickly to get that done. Now, we've received an assurance from the administration that they will be doing that, and it's up to us to make sure to follow up, to make sure that they follow through on that promise.
I got it.
But as the presiding officer indicated, though, we don't, as a legislature, have the ability to take that power away from the county executive and do it ourselves.
Well,
what we're doing as a legislature.
Mr. Prophet, Mr. Prophet, that'll be the last word on this subject. This item is actually the appointment of Farah Mazawala as executive director. It doesn't involve Minority Affairs, so we've allowed you to have your time to speak, and now we're going to move on, sir.
So,
Mr. Prophet, I'm happy to speak with you privately.
okay, I just want to leave with one thing. Again, I'm going to state, I pray that you listen to our legislators in this decision.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Prophet. Is this on the appointment?
Very good morning to you all. The red one? This one, right?
Yeah, press it. You can let
Can
go.
we keep it pressed?
No, you can let go.
Oh, okay. A very good afternoon to you all. My name is Rajiv Jadhav. I'm the CEO of R Square Media, an online visibility reputation management company headquartered at Uniondale. I'm also on the board of several nonprofits, including the Uniondale Chamber of Commerce, as well as the National Minority Business Council. I would like to, it gives me great honor and pleasure to congratulate Director Mazawala. It truly has been a privilege to serve her and her office, and I'm delighted to be part of this amazing, amazing initiative. God bless you all, and God bless America. Good afternoon, legislators. My name is David Chang. I'm a resident of Manhasset, and I'm also the president of the Chinese American Association of North Hempstead, we're a nonprofit organization that helps the students and senior citizens in our community. I just wanted to thank the legislature for forming this Asian American Advisory Committee for office. I know that Nassau County is made up of a mosaic of different people. This is not to take away from any particular group. I think that recognizing the Asian American community and its contributions to this county does not take away from any other group. So I would like to thank you guys for having the foresight to form this organization. I would also like to thank Farah for taking on the responsibility and doing all the hard work, and her committee as well, all the people that are involved in the committee. I mean, this committee is formed to be a liaisons between the government and the people, the Asian American community, which makes up about 10% of Nassau County now. So I think it's nice to have this representation. I think the Asian American people are very hardworking people. We've started a lot of businesses in Nassau County. We are creating jobs for the county. So I think this is a natural progression. I don't think that it takes away from any other group. I think that we can all work together to make a stronger and more vibrant county. So as I said, this is not a melting pot. Nassau County is not a melting pot. It's a mosaic. So all the different pieces fit together to create a big, nice picture. So I would like to thank the county and thank the Nassau County executive for having the foresight to form this committee. Thank you so much.
First of all, let me congratulate you for...
Can you state your name, please?
Yeah, this is Professor Subhash Midha. I'm a professor at NYU for the last 35 years, and I'm living in Nassau County for more than 30 years. It's the most exciting time I've faced since I'm living in Nassau County. Finally, you have paid some attention to the Asian community. We were living without leader, and our situation is very different than the other minority situations are. Our culture is different, our language is different, our thinking is different. So I congratulate all of you for thinking about us. There could not be a better person than her, and I just want to take a minute to give you an example. You might have come to know her in the last year or 2 years. I know her for the last 5 years. When we started a science fair, it's called the Nassau Science Fair. It's among the top 3 science fairs in the Nassau and Suffolk County. The purpose of starting this science fair was that the same schools like Jericho and Syosset, they were just winning all the contests. So we came up with an idea, how do we encourage the schools from the Uniondale, Elmont, Mineola, and guess what? She was the first one I consulted with. And she is the person behind why our science fair is so successful at this time. There are 26 schools participating in this science fair, and there are 195 students came up this year. And they all said that finally we are getting an opportunity to recognize our science ability. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Master Sergeant Peter Gowon. I am a resident of Herrick's for 40 years. I served in the Army in Vietnam with 3 battle stars. For 12 years in the Army and 16 Air Force. I'm retired now. I wanted to thank the legislature for forming the Office of Asian Affairs. It's 100% in the right direction. Asians need representation in Nassau. We make up over 10% of Nassau County, and we have many needs and concerns that should be addressed, especially with elderly care. I also wanted to thank Farah for her vision and spearheading the many Asian initiatives in Nassau. I want to thank Christine Liu for uniting all the Chinese organizations in Nassau to work with the county. With this new office, the Asian Affairs Nassau County will be able to understand the needs of Asian community better, and Asian community will be more united in serving the county better. It's a win for everyone. Thank you. I salute you.
Dr. Sadia Chaudhry, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist in private practice. I am a member of the Executive Committee of Long Island Muslim Society. I'm also a co-organizer for Muslims for Progress, and I'm also on the Immigration Subcommittee for the Census 2020 initiative in Nassau County. I was born and raised in Queens, New York, and being brought up in such a diverse environment, I never thought much about being another, in all honesty. And the first time I really experienced feeling an outsider was when I went out of state for college. When my family and I, when we made the decision to move to Nassau County, one of the biggest concerns for me, frankly, was a fear of my children having that experience of feeling like an outsider, feeling like they don't belong. We moved to East Hills last July, and the transition has been going smoothly. I wanted to thank you all for supporting the creation of this Office of Asian American Affairs, and in particular, Legislator Lapizan as the representative for my district. The creation of this office really shows that Nassau County is invested in the needs of the entire community and is invested in creating a culture of inclusivity. Furthermore, I've had the pleasure of working with Farah Muzzalwala on several initiatives this past year, and the adjectives I can use for her are endless. She is passionate, she is tirelessly hardworking, she is caring, she is so driven to address all the needs of, all Asian Americans, and I wanted to thank you for appointing her. There is no one better suited for this position.
Thank you. My name is Mizada Urin. I have a largest organization, South Asian Fund for Education, Scholarship and Training. And we have a chapter in Long Island. We have a minority highest ranking. And we have a LAP percentage is high. South Asian American community affairs should help our community to empowering. Not only that, we have many lack of issue is lacking. I think I want to thank you, Sister Farah, to bringing this office together. That is the movement, our community to educate and empowering. I think everybody should be supporting to bringing our community diverse, and so that we can bring in our community to bring those issues who did not solve. And I think from this office we can solve that lack of issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello, my name is Naeem Bola, and I've been a Nassau County resident for all my life. I'm an attorney, owner of a company that was recently recognized as one of the 1,000 fastest growing companies in America, and most importantly, I'm a father of 2 amazing children. When I graduated from law school, I could have settled anywhere. However, I chose to come back home, mostly because I couldn't find a better place to raise my children. The formation of this council and the board is affirmation that I made the right choice. Thank you for that. The members of this board now represent the Asian American community in Nassau County and have a responsibility to be ethical and uncompromised in their representation of the community. I'd also like to say a few words about Farah. I've known her for some time now. We're neighbors. And I can think of nobody better qualified to lead this dignified group, either by experience or morality. Thank you.
Thank you. We have several more slips. Why don't we just go through the rest of the slips right now? Dr. Anila Midya.
Hello, I am Dr. Anila Mida. I am a resident of Hewlett for more than 20 years. I have known Farah for the last 5 years, and I must say that whenever I went to her with any problem, she found a solution for me. I am the president of South Asian American Women's Alliance, president of 5 Towns Indian Association, on the board of Domestic Harmony Foundation, and whenever all these organizations needed help, Farah was there to help us. So I am so glad that she has been appointed, and thank you all and Nassau County Executive Laura Curran for doing the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Bana Yee.
Good afternoon, respectful legislators, community leaders, and dear friends. Thank you for being here today to support our Asian Advisory Board. My name is Bana Yi. I'm a board member. Today, on behalf of Chinese community, I'd like to express our sincere gratitude towards the county's initiation and the implementation of Asian American Affairs to service the needs and show commitment to build a stronger future for Nassau Asian community. On April 22nd, Nassau made history and set as role model for our Suffolk, for city, for the state, and for our country. It was an astonishing and brilliant decision, indeed. Thank you all for your hard work pushing through the bill. We, the Asian community, are the fastest growing population in Nassau. We are sophisticated, hardworking residents with great social ethics and strong family values. Our belief in education strive to success and lead our school district to be top ranked in our nation. We have professionals throughout prestigious fields benefited not just our county, but country and our world. We are also a great contributor to county's economy. We also increase the value of our home properties. However, with all the quality we have, we still feel like a minority. We have a little connection to our government. Our voices were small, and our needs were usually underserved. Before the formation of the advisory board, under the leadership of Farah Mazzarella, a lot of that already started to change. We actively engaged with our community, building bridges with the county. We started solving issues and made impact. We brought people closer to our government, building trust and faith. Through our efforts, the Asian community began to recognize faces of you, every one of your elected officials, and started to familiarizing with your work that you put into and you contributed to the county. Farah and our board has brought the entire Chinese community in Nassau together. Here, we also made another history of Long Island. The leadership of Chinese community, I would say entire Long Island Chinese community, including Suffolk, extremely excited and supportive of our board, are looking forward to build a stronger and better community together. I was blessed, and I'm continue to be blessed, for the opportunity to serve in my community and my county. Diversity makes our nation great and inspiring, and I believe that our color will make the tapestry of National County vibrant and beautiful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Pete Ward.
Good afternoon. My name is Peter Ward, and I'm a resident of Williston Park. I'm here today to applaud the legislature for forming the Office of Asian Affairs. Since I moved into the Harrods and Williston Park community, the Chinese community have welcomed and embraced my family and I. I realized that the Asian community high values. They have a high value for education, good work ethic, and family life, all of which I deeply respect. I want our children to learn together, learn from each other, and recently recently there was a lot of talk about medical marijuana dispensaries relocating to main storefronts and streets in New York, and the need of New York State wanting to legalize marijuana. The Chinese community did not want to see marijuana dispensaries near their homes, schools, libraries, and places of worship. I completely agreed with them. I just want to say thank you to David Chang of Manhasset for being the voice of the marijuana protests. I want to say a special thank you to Christine Liu, who has wrote so many letters to all the elected officials, gathering support for fellow Asian advisory board members to fight the zoning of marijuana dispensaries. The outcome could not have been better, with the county executive opting out should marijuana become legal in New York. I admire the work of the Asian American Advisory Board under the direction of Farah Mazwala, and I thank them for making Nassau a better place for my family and I. Thank you.
Thank you. Tess Ma.
Good afternoon to all. My name is Tess Ma, and I'm a resident of Roslyn for over years. I appreciate the opportunity to speak here today. I am a musician and a certified mental health first aid counselor. I work with a group of psychologists and psychotherapists together. I'm running a psychotherapy center. I involved in both medical and mental field for lot for a workshop on both Long Island and the city. I am also a member of Asian American Advisory Board. We, the AAAB members, are working hard under Farah's strong and passionate leadership to bridge the gap between the county and the Asian community. In this very room, we have hosted largely attended and successful cultural events such as the Lunar Year celebrations, the Indian-Pakistan independence celebrations. These cultural events draw the Asian community in and help to bridge the gap between the government and the community. With FARA, we will be working hard on the 2020 census, getting Asian registered to vote, and also developing more Asian opportunities for Nassau County. We all appreciate different culture and background, because I do believe we're working together to make a beautiful garden that we can be proud of. And thank you for your time, effort, and dedication in forming the Office of Asian Affairs and the Asian American Advisory Board. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Srinivasan.
Thank you. Good afternoon, legislatures. I am Dr. Bhavani Srinivasan, a resident of Nassau County for the last almost 40 years. I'm a pediatrician and public health physician, and I serve on the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin at the national level on the Board of Trustees. I have been past president of numerous medical and socio-cultural organizations in Nassau County. I serve on the 2020 Census Immigration Subcommittee, and I am the president of my medical school alumni. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak today. Creation of the Asian American Advisory Board, of which I am a member, gives Asian Americans a voice and visibility. As you are aware, 1 in 7 people are being treated by a physician of Indian descent. My physician group organized free medical and educational programs for the community for years. Mrs. Farah Matsuela has done significant work with the Asian American community, and we've always been able to call on her when we needed help. And I'm delighted that she's going to be the director of this board. This board will be able to foster and continue creativity from this cohort of society. Formation of this board does not take away from any other group of our community. Thank you.
Next up I have is for Matthew Pillai.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mati Pillai. I'm a dance guru and a singer, and also a founder and the director for Home for the Homeless. And the reason I feel so proud and happy to be here in front of you all, especially Ms. Farah, who I believe the best leader and very compassionate human being who can be here. And the other person who I would love to assist is that Dr. Bhavani Srinivasan is also very compassionate. As you know, she has already said what she is. I do not know what else I can talk about them. And I thank you, all of you, for supporting and making our dream come true. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all the speakers. I'm now going to call the item for a vote, which is again the appointment of Farah Matsuela as the Executive Director of the Office of Asian American Affairs. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, carries unanimously. Congratulations. We'll see you back here on May 20th for the vote of the full legislature. But, now I'm going to call the appointments to the Office of Asian American Affairs Council. There's a number of them, so I'm going to call them all at once. Item 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, and 141. These are all resolutions on the second addendum, and they are resolutions confirming the county executive's appointment of the following individuals to the Asian American Advisory Council: Ahmed Sheikh, Christine Liu, Rajiv Jha, Rocky Singson, Sadia Chowdhury, Dr. Isma Chowdhury, Abdul Aziz Pujan, Sunita Manjreka, Tesma Satnam Pahar, Vana Yi, Dr. Bhavani Srinivasan, and that's it. So, we have a motion.
Sure. This presiding officer, I know these are the appointments that the county executive has indicated that she would like to have on the council that will be, I guess, be transferring from the advisory board. I do know that the majority is making appointments as well as the minority. I just wanted to make sure, as we establish as part of the record, that obviously the council is made up of 20 spots, and it is your anticipation as well as mine that there will be 4 spots created so that both sides, the majority and minority, is able to make appointments. I know we're going to do that in 2 weeks, but I just want to make sure.
That's correct. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And our intention is to make the change to the legislation today and in 2 weeks, as well as get the other appointments on so that they can all be appointed together on May 20th. Excellent. We have a motion by Legislator Rhodes, seconded by Minority Leader Abrahams for all those items. I mean, a number of people have already spoken on behalf of that. Any legislators want to add anything? Any other member of the public who hasn't spoken yet?
Who hasn't spoken yet wants to speak on this issue?
I mean, you already spoke on it before, so.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is a separate issue that pertains to this.
Rita J. Meredith, my statement as it pertains to this, I guess is in the form of a statement and a question. Since there was some controversy with regard to the directive, or I believe the document under which this commission and committee was established, where is the legislature on that point, or as it was pointed out, the cut and paste that spoke to the procurement aspect of it? So what exactly is the function of this particular body? One. Two, what resources have been allocated for this, or is it all voluntary?
Today we are, at this moment we are approving the individuals who will be appointed to the body. They will be serving in a volunteer capacity. It is expected, and we will insist that there be a full budget for the Office of Asian American Affairs. So we'll insist that there be a budget, and the group, as well as the executive director, are going to be looking at ways to enhance the Asian Americans.
I'm fully aware of that component of it. I get it. But the spirit, I understand that as well. But unfortunately, even though it's stated that no one is trying to circumvent or push out or squeeze out, but again, I live in the reality. So once all of this passes, the majority of this on this side of the room will probably be gone, and the echo will be there and me sitting in the middle of it. So I want to be clear that the directive under which this body is functioning is going to be accurate. So I'm asking the question again as it pertains to the statement in the legislation that spoke to the procurement aspect of the role. So is that part of their jurisdiction or not? I think as a resident...
I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, this has been a very positive event, except for an individual who now yourself came up twice in negative capacity. Can we just
I'm
have
not in
something
negative
that's
capacity.
positive?
I'm asking the question.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, you didn't read the legislation?
I've read the legislation.
Okay, so you don't know the part that basically was a cut and paste from the Office of Minority Affairs that speaks to procurement opportunities? This is the legislative body.
All right, look, I'll tell you what. We are going to be amending the legislation later on to move from 20 to 24. You want to ask that question later, then you can do so. For now, if this is about appointing individuals to the board, can you let that go forward without making a point?
Maybe.
Good.
But I still have a right to ask the question. If there are inaccuracies and inefficiencies, which are always broadcast in Newsday, isn't this the forum for a taxpayer to ask the question so that for once we can get it right?
This is the forum for appointing individuals to the board. Which
Based upon what is this board actually going to use as their guidepost to make the decisions for the committee?
This never ends.
No, it's not. It will never end, sir.
No.
We pay the second highest taxes in the country, and I don't know about you, but I'm tired of hearing about how my money is getting wasted, and this particular issue is of great interest to me. If it bothers you, I'm so sorry.
Good.
But I did make my point. You do what you need to do.
We'll
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Chaplain Jamila Abdul-Kareem. I'm presently the clergy at Nassau County Corrections, and I volunteer for a number of not-for-profit organizations, and I'm in full support of FARA here. But FARA, I would like to be on this board, so where do I sign? Because it's about making a difference and being a part of the solution, not the problem, or creating more, more problems. I'm sorry, but I would like to be a part of the board. I'd like to know how do I go about doing it, and I would full support of FARA. And I'm 52, and I've been in Nassau County. I am born in Nassau County, so I'm about Nassau County. So whatever it is that needs to be done to make a difference, I'm tired of hearing all of this, and I want to be a part of making it right and making a difference. So.
Thank you very much. I think there might be hundreds or more who'd like to be on this board. I really do. I think it's that exciting and that encouraging that we're doing this, but there has to be a limit. If this is going to be an effective board, there has to be a limit to the board. So there is going to be a limit to the number of appointees, and in addition to the county executives appointees, both the minority and majority have made our own appointees, which we've submitted to the county executive, who will be returning them to us. So I do not believe there's going to be another opening. Again, there has to be a limit to the number of people on this board, because if it gets too big,